This was all calculated by LeBron James. That's why Stephen A. Smith said, I don't blame Pat McAfee for taking that show, because he knows what LeBron James tried to do. But my thing it is, sir, he called you a buffoon. He said he's done with you. How do you not know this? But you want to get up there and act like you are BFF with Pat McAfee when Shannon Sharpe was about to risk it all for you. He was going to crash out for you, literally, on the sideline of a Memphis Grizzlies game. He about to fight Ja Morant, Steven Adams, and T. Morant, Ja Morant's dad.
Let's go.
Even though I killed the ghost, there's still room to debate. And every sport is on the clock, who being labeled the grade. If you hungry for the smoke, then come and get you a plate. We just evaluate the game and we don't deal with the hate. Come tune into the show, cause we about to get into it.
Every sport has a goal,
but now it's time to prove it. Barbershop vibe saying what other shows couldn't. With a buyer coach Scott, yeah, it's gonna be a good one. This ain't for the faint of heart. Tiger, Jordan, Messi or Babe Ruth, Brady, Serena, and Ali catch phase 2. Get your facts ready and no Wikipedia, cause ain't no off season here on Go Debate Media.
Go Debate Media. Let's go.
Welcome back to another episode of GOAT Debate Media. Y'all see who it is. It's myself, Abaya Israel, and to my left right here is the champion. Y'all see the belt? Show me, Coach Scott, show him the belt. He won that belt because last time he put a thrashing on my other co-host, Coach J.O., and you know, they was having this LeBron debate back and forth. I'm a Jordan guy. Let me just first and foremost say Jordan is the GOAT, but I got to give it to Coach Scott. Made some hellified points that just couldn't be disputed last week. And, you know, you see the face that he making over there. He don't agree with us. He think we jumped him. As a Jordan fan, or not even a fan, just somebody who thinks Jordan's the GOAT, why would I jump him? I don't know. But that's what he say. But anyway, today we got a good show lined up for you guys. But before we get into it, make sure you hit that like, subscribe button, follow us on all social media. Man, we're going to jump right into it. So as we know, it has been some long drawn out drama with LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith, which, you know, it's old news. All right, it's old news. We got it. But here's the thing, though. Here's some questions that people have been asking, including people like Draymond Green has asked this question before, and people have asked this question for people like Shannon Sharpe. Like, LeBron, why haven't you gone on their podcast? Why haven't you given them a shot, you know, at interviewing the great LeBron James? And even Draymond Green, Coach Scott, Coach J.O., even he made that request. He asked him, hey, why when I'm gonna get I think he tweeted it out. And LeBron tweeted back, you know, I'm gonna give my brother the interview. But he never did. I've never seen it happen. Nor did he go to Stephen A. Smith. Didn't go to his show. Wasn't going to do that. But why did he go to Shannon Sharpe's, you know, Club Shay Shay, the guy who was about to get into them fisticuffs with you for you against an old basketball team that was obviously going to beat him up. But he was willing to take that beat down for you, LeBron James. But yet he went to Pat McAfee's show. Coach Scott, I'm going to start with you. And we have some clips. Now, we know these are older clips. They're from 2019. But it's clips of Pat McAfee literally going in on LeBron James, calling him morons, saying not moron, buffoons, saying he's done with LeBron James, and all these different things he was saying about LeBron James, you know, for his reasoning. Let's take a look at this, and Coach Scott, we're gonna come right back to you. I want to get your thoughts on this.
That guy stinks, by the way. I am done with him.
Who, LeBron?
I'm done with him.
Well, you didn't like his antics last night?
Everything. Then the China stuff, which just makes him look like an absolute buffoon. Then he starts yelling during the national anthem, and then they lose. It's just like Bron. This was not a game that you could do after everything you've done the last couple months that have made it very difficult to like you.
Coach Scott, now that's Pat McAfee talking some hellified smack about LeBron James, very boldly. Now, we know we didn't see that same Pat McAfee when LeBron was actually on the show. But the problem is, again, people like Draymond Green, people like Shannon Sharpe, people who really are holding you down. Draymond Green said, hey, if we're in the game and he's about to break the scoring record, I'm missing my game for my team to go support this dude. And you still haven't given him that interview. But the guy who really trashed you, you know, did Coach Scott, did Super Clutch, did they miss what Pat said, or did they just not care? They wanted to stick it to Stephen A. that bad. They just didn't care. They overlooked that to go to Pat McAfee's show. What do you say?
Man, I wish Clutch had cut me a check, and I definitely kind of cleaned it up for him. But this one, man,
Hey, Coach JL said they already cut you a check. But go ahead, you got
No,
it.
they cut y'all a check.
They didn't pay me, Coach J. I'm not.
hey, that's what happened when you get beat so bad you think multiple people jumping on you.
It's pretty bad. You think he got jumped, yeah.
But look, I definitely feel like Draymond is going to definitely get an interview with LeBron for sure. I wouldn't do it during the season. That just looks bad. The optics on that, looks bad. They could potentially be playing each other in the first round. Come on, like let's be honest.
But wait, Coach Scott, Draymond has asked for this interview like 2-3 years ago.
I think it was 2 or 3 years ago. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's been about it's been at least 1 year, but it's been like 2 or 3 years ago.
Shame on LeBron. And here's what I also would say. Him going to Pat McAfee show, I mean, I think it's a poor taste from Clutch not to have caught that. But if they did not catch it, and now that it's out there, it kind of makes Pat McAfee look crazy as well. They're talking $1 million worth of smack, but having that guy on your show and being in a totally different demeanor, in a totally different light. So I definitely feel like both of them look like kind of buffoons in that scenario. But yeah, LeBron needs to definitely give his counterparts, give his people that go to bat for him every day, give them a chance to have that one-on-one exclusive interview. Sure.
Does Pat McAfee actually look like a buffoon, or is Pat McAfee actually, doing what Pat McAfee should do? And that is, if you're on my show, LeBron, I'm gonna act like, hey, we're good. We're good together. He did his job, as Stephen A. Smith said. Pat McAfee did his job. This clip was not out. Well, it was out, but it wasn't remembered at the time, at least by the fans, Coach J.O., those who actually, watch the game and keep up with this type of thing. It wasn't remembered. But now, thanks to a Instagram channel, it goes by The First Realist 100. A shout out to that guy. He went back after the interview. He started looking at these older clips, and he brought this out. And Coach J.O., bringing this out, I, for one, although Pat McAfee said some things about LeBron, I think I'll say my comments for last, but I think it makes LeBron look bad in a completely different way. But what's your thoughts on it?
See, first of all, it's funny that Coach Scott, he don't want to use his chest to speak like he did last week on this particular topic, but there's neither here nor there. I'll handle it for you. Okay? I'll speak with my chest today. Now, the words buffoon were used.
Yes.
Okay? Buffoon. But this is what I get told when LeBron James stepped to Stephen A. Smith. Well, he came at him, or he disrespected him as a father. Okay, is LeBron James not a man before he's a quote-unquote father? Not only that, Skip Bayless called him weak. He used the words weak. That's what he called him. Those are the words that Stephen A. and cowardly. Let me not forget that. He used weak and cowardly about 3 weeks ago when referring to him as such in the whole Stephen A. Smith versus LeBron thing. He called him weak and cowardly. This man called him a buffoon, and he went on his platform.
This is why.
Say it again.
Just agreeing, saying that's a fact.
Okay. Now, this is why I said this wasn't calculated by Clutch. This is a LeBron James only thing. He went on the Pat McAfee show. They were playing in Indiana that night or the following day, and I think Pat McAfee shoots out of Indiana. I guarantee you, I'm willing to bet Rich Paul and Maverick Carter didn't know about this one. That was a spur of the moment thing. LeBron James just reacting. Let me go on the Pat McAfee show and do this and do that. I guarantee you Pat McAfee didn't reach out to LeBron. I guarantee you LeBron reached out to Pat McAfee. This was all calculated by LeBron James. That's why Stephen A. Smith said, I don't blame Pat McAfee for taking that show, because he knows what LeBron James tried to do. But my thing it is, sir, he called you a buffoon. He said he's done with you. How do you not know this? But you want to get up there and act like you are BFF with Pat McAfee. When Shannon Sharpe was about to risk it all for you. He was finna crash out for you, literally, on the sideline of a Memphis Grizzlies game. He about to fight Ja Morant, Steven Adams, and T. Morant, Ja Morant's dad. For you, LeBron.
He was going to get beat up. He was going to get beat up. Just throw that out there. He was going to get beat up. I think that adds more to it, because you're going to lose that fight pretty badly. So he was willing to not just risk it all, but make a major sacrifice for LeBron James. But I just want to say that. Go ahead, Coach Coach J.O.
But listen, Shannon Sharpe has the largest platform out of all of the content creators. His platform is larger than his YouTube platform, than Pat McAfee's, than anybody who you want to name, from Stephen A. Smith to anybody, to Chris Broussard, to Nick Wright, to anybody. Why not go on Club Shay Shay, LeBron James, and give this man an interview?
Wait, Coach J.O., before you go forward, I want you to hold that thought, because I want to bring Coach Scott in here. And Coach Scott, can you answer that question? Because I know this your guy. What will you think? I know you will go to Club Shay Shay. What's your thoughts?
Absolutely. I 100% would go to Club Shay Shay. I mean, I have no clue why LeBron James would not be on a Club Shay Shay. I mean, the overall optics of it would be great for him, in my opinion. It would definitely restore his branding as it pertains to people that look, breathe, and live like him.
Facts.
In a certain demographic, but that's neither here nor there. I think that Shay Shay has earned the right to interview LeBron James. I think.
But wait, 1 second, real quick, Coach Scott. Let me just jump in here real quick. I know you say that's neither here nor there. We're trying to be politically correct. I'll be the bad guy. I'll take the heat for the people that look like him. Because as Coach J.O. seemed just to point out, it seems like LeBron has less of the same smoke attitude for people that look like him. I'm sorry, for people that don't look like him, but more of that smoke for the people that look just like him. Because Skip Bayless is one he's been riding LeBron for years, right?
20 years. At least 20 years.
At least 20. Right. And then you have Pat McAfee. I think they knew about that. But Stephen A. Smith, you were willing to not even wait till the game is over. You went over there at the end of the third quarter, something like that, and approached this man. Some people are going to say this. Oh, well, it was because it was talking about his son and this and that. I don't think Stephen A. Smith said anything that bad about your son for you to go in the third quarter and start approaching your son's NBA basketball player. It comes with the territory. Get the hell over it. Okay, so I'm going to give it back to you, Coach Scott. I'm going to go back to Coach J.O. But I'm not going to be politically correct. That's why y'all see that right there where it says sports unfiltered. Unfiltered is the truth. You don't have that same smoke for people who don't look as much like you, LeBron. But for those who do, because before I get the mic back, weren't we always accused, especially when we first started this platform, we were accused if we said something negative about LeBron James, we are somehow talking about the entire black community. I don't know when LeBron James became the representation for the entire black community, but somehow we were talking about the entire black community whenever we said something about LeBron James. So when are the LeBron fan clubs, when are they going to say, hey, well, when LeBron responds, he does kind of respond to people that look just like him, but people that don't look just like him, he kind of turns a blind eye to. You can't tell me he didn't see this Pat McAfee interview, or show, should I say. But I'm going to give it back to you, Coach Scott. Then I'm going to pass it back to Coach J.O.
Absolutely. And again, I would agree with you wholeheartedly on that, but I think that it's the way that melanated males in the industry have been kind of groomed and taught to be. I mean, we look at Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless. He was told by a twerk to put his glasses back on, and he did. So, damn. I mean, is that what the media or that industry or that genre kind of teaches our males to be like? Hell, Pat McAfee called and cursed Stephen A. out. Called and cursed him out. but no smoke for Pat McAfee like he had for LeBron, like he had for other individuals in the actual basketball arena. He didn't have Stephen A. didn't have the same type of vitriol and smoke. Like, is that what individuals in the industry at this point in time have been taught to be like as it pertains to, black men as anchors or black men kind of giving their take on sports?
Coach Scott, I'm gonna give it to you 2 weeks in a row. You made some hell of 5 points. I'm not gonna be a hater like some people, right? We know who we're talking about. I ain't gonna be a hater. That's a good point. Because the thing with him and Pat McAfee, he didn't respond to Pat McAfee as he did to everybody else. Stephen A. I'm talking about. So that is true. So Coach J.O., the hater that Coach Scott always talking about, that was a good point. I have to admit a good point when I hear it. What do you think?
I mean, it was a good point, but is this the point of the topic? That Stephen A., this is not a Stephen A. Smith topic. This is LeBron James and Pat McAfee. Okay,
but it's a rebuttal to like what I just said. Hey, why does
it can't be a rebuttal, right? You know why it can't be a rebuttal to that? Because again, we've seen, as pointed out, Skip Bayless has been a harsh critic of LeBron James for over 20 years. You never stepped to him once, not one time. And this man just used the words weak and cowardly. We know cowardly is a synonym for fighting words or a word that will get you knocked out in the streets. Right or wrong, Coach Scott?
True story.
Okay, cool. Right? But this is the thing with Skip Bayless, right? Skip Bayless, for lack of better words, is a fiery dude. I believe that these cats know. Yeah, they might whoop Skip Bayless. But Skip Bayless not backing down. I've seen it too many times. He looked at Chris Bosh face to face after Chris Bosh told him to stop calling him Bosh Spikes. They was at the table together. And he said, no, not until you stop playing like that.
Wait. But Coach J.O., so let me ask you this, just so I can understand. How is that not a rebuttal what Coach Scott said? I know you said it's not the topic, but are you trying to say because Skip did this for 20 years and Pat McAfee did it once and Stephen A. How is it not? All right, let me start over, because what I'm trying to say is my statement was that LeBron James doesn't seem to have the same type of smoke for people who look like him as he would for other individuals. Coach Scott stated that, well, you got Pat McAfee who cursed out Stephen A. Smith. And Stephen A. Smith didn't have the same smoke for LeBron James as he, would for people that look like him. How is that not a good rebuttal? Like, how does this not fit? Like, why is that not a good point?
Because
I still believe what I believe. I still stand on what I'm saying, but I gotta admit I think it's a good point.
Because we are told that LeBron James is gonna check anybody for disrespect. That's what we're told. That's what I'm told. That he's gonna check disrespect. That's why he checked Stephen A. Smith, because he was being disrespectful. So if you're gonna check Stephen A. for quote unquote disrespect, Stephen A. Smith ain't the one who walking around saying he's gonna check disrespect, or his fan base saying that he's gonna check disrespect. No, Skip Bayless been disrespecting you all your career. Okay, point blank. Period. Pat McAfee disrespected you. Listen to the verbiage: buffoon and cowardly. Those are the words that both of these men use for LeBron James. Buffoon and cowardly. You can't get much more disrespectful than that.
Skip Bayless has been known to tell Hall of Famers, to tell Hall of Famers that they're not good. They're not better than another athlete that's actively playing. Like, you gotta take certain things with a grain of salt. And I think that certain people in the industry, Skip Bayless being one of them, you gotta take them with a grain of salt. You can't take this guy serious.
Why you can't though? But look,
wait, hold on one second. And be fair, because I want to be fair to Coach J as well, Coach Scott. Why does he have to take that with a grain of salt? but he didn't take Stephen A. Smith's comments with a grain of salt.
Well, I definitely feel like it's been bad blood there. And when you care enough to react, yeah, it's something deeper there. But if you don't even care enough to react, that person, to be honest, that person clearly is not on that man's radar. He's not even a blip on his radar. But with Stephen A. Smith being in his social class, being in his type of sphere, yeah, it stung for him to say the things that he said.
But for someone to not be on your radar, and that's the person you decide to give a major interview, because let's be real, an interview with a Michael Jordan or an interview with a LeBron James, you just don't get those. For someone not to be a blip on your radar, but they get the interview, I don't know if I can take that he's just a blip on the radar.
I don't think LeBron James has ever taken an interview with Skip Bayless.
No, what I'm saying is he took one with Pat McAfee. So I don't think Pat McAfee is a blip on the radar. He's at a higher level than that.
I got you. That's where the miscommunication came from. I was speaking about Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless is definitely not on LeBron James's radar. But as it pertains to people in a social sphere with LeBron James, and just from a communication set of passing individuals, I would think that Pat McAfee is in a more relevant class of communication than Skip Bayless is.
But we talk about Pat McAfee, though. But we're talking about Pat McAfee. I'm going to give you, Coach Jay, you can get back here. But we're talking about Pat McAfee. So did they just miss this one, or did they just want to stick it to Stephen A. the bad?
Shame on Clutch. They had to miss it. There's no way as a manager of a brand, you allow your client to put himself in the lion's den of a person that called you before. It's a major oversight. Or the other side of the coin is, it's just like J.O. was saying, that this was a spur of the moment. LeBron James called our audible, and he walked into the lion's den and got hit up.
That's what I think it is, right? Because
one of the.
But now, looking back, now that we know about what Pat McAfee said, and looking back on the interview, Pat McAfee wasn't the same as I usually see Pat McAfee be. He wasn't the same. He was kind of cuddling LeBron James, kind of sucking up to LeBron James. That's not the way Pat McAfee rolls. He don't roll like that. You know what I'm saying? For lack of a better word, Pat McAfee let him hang. He does. I've seen his videos, a lot of his shows. Pat McAfee, don't nobody run Pat McAfee, right? And I could tell it was something there. You know what I'm saying? It was something there where he was just like, let me make sure I don't say anything that rubs LeBron the wrong way. Let me not ask a question that might put LeBron James in a bad light. I didn't quite understand it then, because I'm like, when Pat McAfee became this big LeBron James fan, because I never known him to be. He's not even a basketball guy. He makes it known that he really don't even watch basketball. He lets that be known. He's a football guy.
Yeah, well, that's what we got it. Hey, so the point of this is like, it's old news. Why you guys covering old news? Okay, yes, old news, but it's relevant, okay? This is relevant because, the Stephen A. drama and the LeBron James drama played out in front of everybody. True enough. But with that being said, you had this smoke for Stephen A. based on some things he said that you didn't appreciate, and you went to the opposite show to do the interview, correct? Well, now the same guy who you went to, we found out he actually did attack you personally. He personally came for your throat. You're a buffoon. He talked about your comments that you made over the China incident. He talked about, what else was it? During the national anthem, when you screamed, well, all you were trying to do was get your team hyped up and you screamed, let's go. And I watched the video. I didn't think it was any intent at disrespect. I don't even care about it, honestly. To me, to even make a big deal out of it, to me was dumb. You can email me if you got a problem with it. I'm not politically correct. You see that? Because it says Sports Unfiltered. Just tell the truth. It was dumb. But yeah, even though it was dumb because you're trying to get your team amped up before a big game, or before a game, should I say, now you're being criticized by the same guy who you gave all of your energy to go interview with, just because you had I guess, the lack of respect for the opposite guy based on what he said that wasn't even a personal attack. But anyway, the clip, if you guys want to hear it again, hit the replay on the show. Watch it again. Clip came from 2019. Pat McAfee literally going for LeBron James' throat in personal attacks, but yet LeBron James decided to give Pat McAfee that interview. So listen, that's the end of the show. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, follow us on all social media. We're also on Spotify if you want to listen to the show riding down the road. Make sure you support, and until next time, we'll see you then.
Let's go.
Even though I killed the ghost, there's still room to debate. And every sport is on the clock, who being late with the grade. If you hungry for the smoke, then come and get you a plate. We just evaluate the game and we don't deal with the hate. Come tune into the show, cause we about to get into it.
Every sport has a goal.
But now it's time to prove it. Barbershop vibe saying what other shows couldn't. With a buyer coach Scott, yeah, it's gonna be a good one. This ain't for the faint of heart. Tiger, Jordan, Messi or Babe Ruth, Brady, Serena, and Ali catch phase 2. Get your facts ready and no Wikipedia, cause ain't no off season here on Go Debate Media.